on the far side of town, sharing a dream with anyone. She's made it through heaven, she's made it through hell. It's just another story to tell. Have you ever felt you're missing the dream? Have you ever wished your life was like the movie on the screen, filled with heartbreaks and fights through Hollywood nights? Making up a bar queen on the phone in the great big boulevard, the place she belongs. It's just another story she tells. Have you ever felt you're missing the dream? Have you ever wished your life was like the movie on the screen, filled with heartbreaks and fights through Hollywood nights? Through Hollywood nights. Through Hollywood nights. You always looked after me, brother, when we were children. You always had my back. You took all the blame when our father caught us doing things that drove him mad. Through the years I could lean on you when I messed up. I'd call you in the night, but I broke too many promises and we split up. Though I still need ya, you gotta save me now. I'm slipping so far down, it's only you I trust to set me free from this. I don't know how I got into this awful spot. I don't know where it ends, so I can use your helping hand tonight. I wanna say that I'm sorry, I got sidetracked and I left you in the cold. I've seen your side of the story, I felt the drawback. My mistake took its toll. Finally, I have realized I was dead wrong. I wasn't thinking straight. No more lies, and from here on out I'll be better, 'cause I still need ya. You gotta save me now. I'm slipping so far down, it's only you I trust to set me free from this. I don't know how I got
From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. Hey yo, heart of a villain beats hard in the centrifuge. Bearded BP, 100 interviews. All it takes is 2 mics and 1 line. This is Bearded Villains podcast worldwide. Driving cross countries, getting ball tires. Fam across ponds, always inspired. Chapters connect, and then it's on fire. Check your phone, cause BV is like a live wire. They said that we couldn't do it and that another could. Never underestimate the power of brotherhood. Every bro, every chapter, every caption. Heart of a villain, bro, lights, camera, action. Action, action, action. Let's go. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart. It's the heart.
The Heart of a Villain, the podcast and live stream devoted to the Bearded Villains Worldwide Brotherhood and the lives they are changing all over the world. Tonight, happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. It is St. Patrick's Day, so there's probably a handful of people that normally watch this program that are not here. They're out having a good time, or they're doing what's on in the background in the other room, and that's watching the NCAA tournament. I get it. These first 4 days of the tournament are the most exciting in basketball, and if you're into college basketball here in the States, you love it. So, but for those of you who are here with me tonight, and those of you who are listening to the podcast at a later time, thank you so much for being here, because it is St. Patty's Day. Cheers to all of you. I will imbibe. Ooh, that's good. That right there was my first sip of the Jameson Orange. Never had that before. I wanted to try that for the first time tonight. Very good stuff. So guys, this is March 18th or 17th. I'm sorry, March 17th, episode 126. Seems like just a little bit ago we were cruising around episode 100 and climbing over that big hill. Before too long, we're halfway to 150 now, over 100. So that is so cool to see. Guys, we're just flying along here. This is so fun to see the Bearded Villain community blossom and really start to see some growth. See, it's been very weird, but yet very cool to see some changes that have been going on the last, I want to say, 6 months of BV. There have been a lot of guys in chapter stepping up, and we've seen some what could be considered OG captains, right? Some captains that have been around since the inception of their chapter, taking a step back and saying, it's time for somebody else to take a hold of this chapter and take the reins. And I'm going to step back and let new blood take over. And some of these guys have been there for 5, 6, 7 years that are starting to step away. So it's sad to see, because these chapters, these guys were the guys that created and set the groundwork for what these chapters have been. But at the same time, it's good. I mean, it's all part of that circle of life, as you call it, and it's really inspiring to see, because these guys that are coming in, they want to have, an input, they have new ideas, and that's awesome to see. So congratulations. Anybody's listening that has stepped up and taken a leadership role within their chapter in the last few months, thank you guys for doing that. It's great to see. To those of you who have stepped back as captains, co-captains, or other roles in your chapter, thank you so much. The efforts and the contributions that you have made, not only to Bearded Villains, but also to your individual chapters, cannot be understated. And you guys are where you're at because of, your chapters are there because of your leadership. So I did want to say thank you to those, because it seems like lately we've got a bunch of guys that have done that have decided after 5, 6, 7 years it's time to step back. And I know that's probably not an easy decision, but yet one that's needed in some cases. So just wanted to say thank you guys to all of you who have done that and led by example. So, but hey, we are at episode 126. And as I said, it's St. Patty's Day. So one of the things that we're going to be doing in just a few minutes is we're going to be talking with one of our brothers from the First Coast Villains, and that is Jason. He is the ambassador with First Coast Villains. He's going to be talking to us a little bit about their event that they have this weekend. They've come up with a new event, and as I said in the interview with him, you guys found a way. They found a way to find a hole in the bearded community schedule and in the BV schedule, really, which is becoming harder and harder to do. Where they didn't end up, creating a date on their event that somebody else had already had, and we're not even sure. We kind of looked at it, and I'm not even sure that there's even another Beard Clubs event, at least not one that we could find, going on this weekend. So if you want to hang out, you want to go out and do a beard competition, Jacksonville, Florida is the place to be this weekend. And we talk a little bit about what their event's going to be like. It's going to be an awesome time. And Jacksonville, Florida, I mean, come on. It's this time of year. It's before it gets super hot. You can't go wrong. So my interview coming up will be with Jason again from the First Coast Villains. Good little interview there. And also we're going to have some, as we typically do, some merch. It's a couple of new merch items that have popped up, and I wasn't going to have, I wasn't going to have any chapter news this week. Not really anything specific that popped up, but I saw something about 20 minutes before this episode started airing. About 20 minutes before I hit live, I came across a little ditty on Instagram that one of our brothers shared. So I'm just going to get right into that, and we'll slide right into the let's just slide right into chapter news and see where this takes us. Whoa, look at that. We switched cameras on us. All right, guys. So let me switch this back here. That's much better. Now I got two of me on the camera. We don't like that. There it is. All right. So the chapter news that I came across on Instagram, and if you guys have been, trolling around your Instagram in the last 20, 30 minutes, you may have already seen this, but it was the first time I saw it, so I wanted to share it. As we know, we had a new chapter come about in the last 2 weeks, one of our newest chapters, which was Chattanooga. And Chattanooga just released their logo. So I'd like to share that with you guys if you haven't already seen this. Pretty cool stuff. Very unique. Very unique. Now, what's funny is that, we were kind of hinted, if you were at Nash Vegas last week, all of the guys from the Chattanooga chapter were all wearing blue. Their button down, their chapter shirts were all blue. So we were kind of it was kind of a hint that maybe they're looking at going blue with their chapter colors. But not to no surprise here. This Chattanooga Villains now, as they are known, very, very cool. Obviously a train with a big old stash on the front of it. I love it. The lettering around the train is very, very cool. So congratulations to you guys. I know firsthand, and I know that Dave Ramsey, the captain there, has been through this before, and I know he knows how difficult that can be to create a logo, because that's your identity, at least going for 2 years, based on the bylaws for BV. You can change your logo, but it has to stay the same for 2 years. So to come up with something that you know is going to be your identity for at least 2 years moving forward and maybe longer, it's a difficult choice. So congratulations to you guys. It looks great. Very cool. It's unlike anything else out there, and that's a standout. So great. Congratulations, Dave, and the Chattanooga Villains on a very cool logo. But that's all I got for chapter news. Okay, guys. Now, what I want to do real quick is, before I kick off the chapter merch segment, I want to say hi to the people that are here. So, without further ado, we've got a bunch of our bros that have come in here tonight that are doing other. If they're out drinking, they're here live with us too, and we just don't know it. Frank and Beans is in the house. Rev Nick, how you doing, buddy? Mr. Richard. Mr. Richard, 85. Salante. Yes, cheers to you, buddy. Up in Canada, eh? Mars is hanging out with us. Good to see you, good to see you. Mr. Parsons from down in Jacksonville at the First Coast Villains is hanging out with us as well. He's probably here just to check up and make sure that I do his chapter right by talking about his event. No, he's regular. He comes and hangs out with us all the time. Big Mike is here with us as well. Let's see. We've also got another Mike hanging out with us. Hey, Forge. How you doing? How you doing? Ed, nice to see you hanging out with us too. That's my co-captain. Anybody doesn't know? Rababa. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hey, I love seeing Rababa here, especially knowing the time that it is over in the UK. But you had a few people that beat you out on the comment section tonight, so look out. Got to you a little faster. Love how you sang my name. Yes. Thank you much. Well, those of you who are here that I do not see your comments in the thing, I thank you guys for being here as well. I know there's a handful of you guys that are out here that are not commenting. So, but I do want to say hi and thank you. Just in case you didn't know who I am and you just stumbled across this here podcast and live stream, I am BP, Bearded Villains Northern Indiana Captain, and the host of The Heart of a Villain. If you are here for the first time, you can find all of the previous episodes, all 125 of them previously, at theheartofavillain.simplecast.com. Theheartofavillain.simplecast.com is where you can go for all that fun stuff. But let's slide into our merch, guys. See what is going on in the world of merch. Okay, wow. That Jameson Orange is pretty good stuff. All right, guys. So there's a few brand new things that I've got on the list here. So pay close attention now. There's a few other things that have expired that are no longer on here. So you missed out on those opportunities. But let's scroll right through here. First up, from West Virginia, they just released a brand new X Factor patch that is in the shape of the state of West Virginia. Go figure. It's available at bvwv.bigcartel.com. bvwv.bigcartel.com. It's $11. Looks like it's about 3 by 3.5, maybe closer to 3.5 by 3.5, something like that. Very cool. Blue, a bright blue and gold for those of you who are not viewing this live. So again, the West Virginia X Factor patch. Go to their site, check it out. If you're just listening to this, very cool. Grab one while you can. Next up, because it's St. Paddy's Day, I had to keep this on here. I know it's probably not going to be here much longer because it's been up for a few weeks. The Montreal St. Patrick's Day patch, $15 USD at MontrealBeardedVillains.com. MontrealBeardedVillains.com. Very cool. I had to leave it up for today because, of course, it's being St. Paddy's Day. $15. Next up, Chesapeake Bay Villains shirt. This is the last day I'll be talking about this because it expires in 2 days now. So it expires before the weekend is up. Chesapeake Bay Villain shirt. It expires on the 19th. Ranges in price from $22 to $28. It's a pretty cool logo if you haven't seen it. Pretty cool shirt all the way around. It's got writing on both sleeves. It's got a logo on the front and Chesapeake Bay Villains on the back. Next up, this is a new one that's just come out. And this one, the patch itself, it's for a patch. And it might seem a little expensive, but it's for a very good cause, guys. So if you have the wherewithal, I'm sure that the brothers, both at Swampside and Tampa Bay Bearded Villains, would really appreciate it. This is a collaboration patch that's just come out in the last couple of days for their brother. It is a collaboration patch for, it's called their Brothers Keeper patch. A Brothers Keeper patch. Now, specifically, all the proceeds from this patch are going to Bald Bull, brother down there in Florida, who just had a very tragic situation happening within their household and family and all. So they are trying to raise money for a brother. Very good cause. 2 chapters coming together, Swampside and Tampa Bay. The patches are $18. They're available on the Swampside patch page or Swampside page. Swampside Villains, all one word, swampsidevillains.bigcartel.com. $18 for the Brothers Keeper patch. Very cool design. It combines both of their logos, by the way, if you're not viewing this live. Moving on. This is a new one as well that I have. Bearded Villains Portugal. Bearded Villains Portugal. Now, I will say there's a bunch of this stuff that's going on out there where our chapters are supporting our brothers over in the Ukraine, and I love to see it. And so these are patches that are going to be obviously a one-off thing. When they're gone, and you couldn't be, it's obviously for a great cause because these patches are all going for to raise money for our brothers in Portugal. For our brothers in Ukraine. This specific patch by Portugal Brothers. Bearded Villains Portugal patch with the colors of the Ukraine flag in the background. It's only €10. Only €10. And it's available on the Portugal website or on their BV page. So go to the Portugal chapter's IG page, and you can find the link for that. Love to see it. Ukraine Solidarity Patch is what they're calling it. Very cool to see. Then I've had this on a couple times, a few weeks. This will probably be the last week on here for it. But the BV Toronto chapter, beardedvillainstoronto.com, they have I checked today, and they still have this live, so it's still accessible. Their Hogtown Chops for kids and their Axe the Stigma shirts going to the same event. Very cool stuff. $30 to $32 and $30 to $34 respectively for these 2 shirts. Go out and grab one, beardedvillainstoronto.com. Also, this will be the end of the month is the end of this one. This one ends March 31st, is the Blackshire Villains, when they've come back out with their flag and their double-sided flag that they sell and their Blackshire rings that they have. They don't do this too often, but when they do it for a limited time. So this time it ends March 31st. They've got a chapter ring, which is £30 for pewter, $75 for silver. And they have a 29.5 inch by 19.5 inch flag, double-sided. These are both pre-order items, and that ends March 31st. Available at blackshirevillains.bigcartel.com. Also, this one ends March 31st. A few of these end at the end of the month, so check them out. North Georgia Bearded Villains shirt. North Georgia doesn't put out a whole bunch of stuff, so when they do, it's good to see it. Always very cool. These are official chapter shirts, pre-sale, ending March 31st. Sizes up to 2XL are $20, and they are $25 for 3XL and up. International shipping is available, but it's $10 extra. So, North Georgia shirts, very cool, bright red. Go hit them up and see what you can do. Find those things. They're very, very cool. I want to grab one of those. $20, $25 plus ship. Also, I have the Bearded Villains Kentucky patch. They have a patch that they've designed, and the proceeds are going to the Kentucky Equine Adoption Center. Very cool. It has a horseshoe on it with a big rose and bluegrass villains in the middle. $10 pre-order, ends the 31st. And then finally, just want to put this out there again as well. Another chapter with a support patch for Ukraine. Bearded Villains ENC still has this one available. Bearded Villains ENC. Hit up the Bearded Villains ENC chapter. There's $15 for these patches. Hit them up direct because you'll pay directly to their chapter PayPal for this patch. So when they're gone, they're gone. Hit up our brothers, Bearded Villains ENC, for this guy. And I believe that's all I've got this month actually, I've got one last thing here. Just a quick reminder. Over at the Wales chapter, Bearded Villains Welsh chapter of the Wales brothers are supporting SANS, which is a leading stillbirth and neonatal death charity in the UK. They have a support patch that they've designed for that. It's £10. Hit up our brothers with the Welsh chapter, Bearded Villains Wales, for further information on that. And that is chapter merch for this episode. Okay. All right, guys. So this is a really cool time because we are St. Patrick's Day today, but it's St. Patty's Day weekend, right? And so this kind of St. Patty's celebration is going to continue long past the night through tomorrow into the weekend, I'm sure. I want to share with you my interview I did earlier with Jason from the First Coast Bearded Villains. He's the ambassador there. And they're going to have a really cool event. I can only imagine how awesome it's going to be next to the beach and technically on the beach. So if you are not busy this weekend and you live within even, I would say, 4 or 5 hours, if you can make this trip to Jacksonville, you'll want to be there because it'll be a fun event to be at. So I'd like to share with you my interview that I've done with Jason from the First Coast Bearded Villains, talking about their event weekend they've got coming up, the St. Patrick's Day Battle of the Beards. Okay, this weekend, the First Coast Villains have a very cool Battle of the Beards event honoring and celebrating St. Patty's Day. It's going to be a good time. To talk to me today about it is, well, he's the ambassador of the First Coast Villains. Jason, how you doing today, buddy?
Hey, BP. Good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. It's not as nice here as it is with you where you're at, but we're starting to warm up. We're pushing 70 degrees finally. Okay, this weekend, the First Coast Villains have a very cool Battle of the Beards event honoring and celebrating St. Patty's Day. It's going to be a good time. To talk to me today about it is, well, he's the ambassador of the First Coast Villains. Jason, how you doing today, buddy?
Hey, BP. Good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. It's not as nice here as it is with you where you're at, but we're starting to warm up. We're pushing 70 degrees finally up here.
Hey, that works. Yeah. Not trying to rub it in. Sitting poolside. But yeah, we're hitting the 80s here. So
I think that is rubbing it in when you tell me sitting poolside. but me, it's nice. I've been in shorts though for a couple weeks up here anyway, because it's once it hits 40, it's definitely shorts weather up here. So, but
no, I get it. I'm originally from Massachusetts, so I get it.
Okay, all right, you got an idea then. So tell me, how did this let's just start off with this idea, because this is a new event for you guys, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. So first off, thanks for having me, and really excited to be on. And yeah, it came about. We started planning for this one about 3-4 months ago. We've had some beard competitions in the past. We had one 2 years ago, just before COVID hit, and it was St. Patrick's Day related. But with COVID hitting, it kind of had some impacts to us for that. So we decided to bring it back this year. We switched up locations, and we have a different nonprofit that the funds will be going to. But yeah, so like I said, I've been planning for 3-4 months now, and all of the work is finally coming down to 2 days now. So we've had a good group of guys working really hard. The whole chapter's been involved, working really hard on this one. So hoping for a great sunny day out there and good turnout.
Yeah. So this it's going to be this is Saturday. We're talking Saturday. That's the 19th, if I'm not mistaken, right? Okay. So
so it'll be March 9th.
No, that's okay. So is this outdoors? You said we're hoping for some good weather. Is this going to be an outdoor event?
Yeah. So it's going to be out at Jack's Beach. We'll be just across from the beach. It's on First Street at a place called Lynch's Irish Pub. So perfect for St. Patty's Day weekend that we're going to be at the Irish Pub as well. But they've been very generous to give us a lot of space, actually. And they've provided their whole back patio to us. If we happen to, ideally we want that sunshine, Florida sun, but if we happen to run into some storms, we are going to be completely covered by a tent. So rain or shine, we are good to go. And then they provided us their back bar room area as well. So we do have some inside, if you want to get out of the sun or potentially the heat, you have that option too.
Man, it's nice that you guys were able to find this time to do it, because it's, especially now with COVID, we're in the back rearview mirror now. It's chapters are starting to pop up and throw new events up there, and you guys actually found a weekend that it's harder and harder to find those open weekends. So I'm glad you're able to find a weekend that was like this, man. Unfortunately for me, when I saw it pop up, I thought, oh, this would be a cool time to just swing down to Jacksonville, and then realized that it was it was popping off to the leading into the spring break time. So we were not a good timing for me, but
we would have loved to have you, man. But yeah, we got kind of lucky. We picked a date that, from what I'm seeing and hearing, I don't know if there's another beard competition out there this weekend. So yeah, hopefully everybody made some plans to come to Jacksonville.
yeah, I'd love to see that. I'd love to see you guys be able to kill this thing and have an awesome event. Now,
Yeah.
if you can tell us, we know it's Battle of the Beards, St. Patrick's Day Battle of the Beards. Now, you are doing something kind of cool. The charity that you guys have chosen to receive the proceeds from this event. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah, they're called Jacksonville Animal Care and Protective Services. Basically, they're kind of our city, dog shelter, if you'd say. They're a location that holds about 250 to 300 dogs, and then of course they have the cats as well. So it's a really big location an operation that they're running over there. Me personally, I've adopted 2 pit bulls from them, and know some people that foster animals for them. But just within the chapter, what we try to do is get everybody's interest involved and try to spread it around to what everybody is passionate about. So a lot of guys in the chapter around animals and dogs, and so we decided to go with this one. And the nonprofit over there, they're really excited, and that we reached out. They love the uniqueness of the event, something that they'd never heard of, and it's surprising how many people haven't heard of a beard competition. That's so it's kind of fun to get to talk about and share. But anyways, what's really exciting about it too is they're actually going to bring 6 dogs out on site, and those dogs are going to be up for adoption, ready to go.
Oh,
so
cool.
If you're looking for an animal, come out, take a look. You'll be able to go home with your dog Saturday night. So,
oh, how unique is that? That's very cool.
yeah, really excited. It took some work and some back and forth, and with us having the outside area, that really helped a lot. And thankfully, Animal Care and Protective Services, they have some great volunteers on their side they're going to donate their time to give one-on-one attention to these dogs in case they do get overwhelmed with the environment. So
yeah,
so there'll be handlers for each dog that's out there.
Man, kudos to those guys. That's an undertaking. I mean, that's 6 or 7 employees there, and then giving up their time. I mean, it's gonna be hopefully a fun event for them to see if they haven't seen one for the first time. Like you said, it's funny how many people don't realize these beard competitions are. Once you're involved in the bearding community, you think of that as second nature. But as I found out, again, every time you run into people that are like, I never heard of this thing, you realize, that it's really not a well-known, outside of when people see it on like the Today Show, when they do the little 30-second clip of the world championships or something like that. We just a couple weeks ago down in Nash Vegas, they had their event at a big open bar, and very similar probably to what you guys are going to be facing, where there's people that planned on just going to the bar, and they ended up seeing a beard competition, and they stuck around because they thought it was cool. So,
and and I'm happy you said that, because we're really hoping for that. The beaches, when the weather's nice down at the beach, obviously it gets very, very busy. An Irish pub on St. Patty's Day weekend, again, that should bring in a big crowd itself. But it's a well-known establishment. They've been around, they've been in Jacksonville since like 1994, I want to say. So very established. And they have some great live music. They always have live music there. So I guess that would segue to us saying, there will be live music at the event. They have a big stage inside, but we'll also have live music outside before the actual competition gets started. He's a well-known local artist named Ryan Campbell that is also bearded, which is cool.
Oh, that's neat.
We're trying to recruit, but
there you go. There you go. It's always good to get one of those guys that has an entertainment ability so he can be there for you in the future.
Definitely helps. But yeah, he'll be playing out there on stage for us just before from about 3 to 6. So that'll be nice too.
Very cool. All right. So I know some people are probably going to wonder, who might you, I know you probably, because is this an FHL beard comp that I see?
It is, yeah.
Oh, good luck.
Registered on the app.
Good luck with that. I know we've had so many people that, chapters have had issues with that, but hey, when it works really well. So fingers crossed for you guys. Yeah. So who do you guys have lined up for judges?
Yeah. So, we put some thought into it, and we went with a lot of local barbers. Actually, we went with a lot of local barbers. So, one of our first one, he used to be a member of our group, First Coast Villains, but he had to take some time away from the group. But we wanted to extend the invitation out to him because, honestly, we just love the guy. Yeah. He's a great guy. So, and he barbers himself, and he's been in the business for a very long time. So he knows a beard very well. So we did ask him, and he was gracious enough to accept the invitation to come out. So that's Barber Bear.
Okay.
We have another local talented barber. Her name is Jen Dover. She works at one of the local establishments in the area that I actually frequent. So someone I know fairly well, and I know the work that she does. So she has a lot of, again, bearded clients. So, and then lastly, we have a gentleman by the name of Will Todd. He's another local barber in the area, and he actually was a judge for us in the past at DSV.
Okay.
When we hosted DSV, so we're kind of bringing him back to judge again. So
very cool.
Great panel. Kept it smaller, just the 3, but still a really strong group.
Oh yeah. Well, I think the key is, and some places don't think about this, the key is to make sure you have an odd number, I think. So that way you don't run into, it's much less likely to run into ties that way. But but yeah, it's great. You have a well-rounded panel that know beards, and it's, as far as I know, it's always for charity and it's for fun, and but there are some people that really, really get into the bearding community as far as the competition circuit, and it's a little disheartening sometimes when guys just kind of pick random people. Hey, you want to be a judge, and they have no interest in or knowledge of beards. So I always try to remind people not to do that, because then guys at least don't feel like they're getting a fair shake out of things. So
yeah, we tossed names around for a while. We didn't settle on ours quickly. I could tell you that. And one thing we thought about was doing like the kind of local celebrity type of judge, but like you said, it's good to have people that really know beards and work with beards these people are doing it every single day, so they know it well.
Absolutely, man. All right, well, I'm excited to see the pictures, since I can't be there. The pictures in the video, maybe somebody will do some, maybe one of you guys do some live streaming or something from their IG Live or Facebook Live or something like that. But do you guys, are there any kind of, I always ask this, and I always put people in a trick bag because I put you on the spot by asking you this, but are there any kind of fun surprises that you guys have in store for the event? Yeah,
I think so.
You don't have to say if you don't want to, but I appreciate it if you do.
No, yeah. We've been advertising it a bit, so I don't know if it's a huge surprise, but it's just another added feature to the event, I think. And So we have a good partnership with a local axe throwing company, and he actually has a mobile trailer that has 2 targets. So he's donating his time, and he'll be bringing his mobile trailer out to the event at no charge. So people can come out and throw axes for free. So just another added fun thing to do. And if you've never thrown axes, I tell you, you got to try it.
Yeah.
It's something I do weekly in a league. So I don't know. I find a lot of fun in it. So
It's very fun. I've never even heard of a mobile trailer setup where somebody's just driving around and throw some axes inside there. That's pretty cool.
yeah, 2 targets. It's pretty fun. So yeah, we got that Axe Champs. Definitely want to shout them out. And there's also going to be some drink specials involved, and I want to mention those because Lynch's, the establishment that it will be at, they're going to give all the proceeds of the drink specials. They're going to donate those funds back so that we can donate them to the charity as well. So we're waiting to get the final. Is it going to be a shot or a drink? But there'll definitely be some specials that are going to go towards the charity. So want to encourage people to purchase those as well.
Yeah. If you are going, make sure you ask what the specials are so you can buy lots of those.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
pay for your well drinks, but the good drinks, the fancy ones that mean something back to the charity, make sure you buy those. So that's what we want to aim for. All right, Jason, man, I appreciate it. Is there anything else you want to tell everybody about what you guys got going on, or anything special going on at First Coast Villains otherwise, or anything coming out to the event?
Let's see. I mean, just to add, I mean, we're going to have some vendors on site too. We'll have some things for the ladies as well as the guys. We'll have beard related products from Valkyrie, but nonprofits will be there. So there'll be some vendors there as well. But as far as First Coast Villains, we're just trying to stay active, keep making a difference. We did our toy drive, and then we're looking at what the next event's going to be after this one. This was a bit of a big undertaking, so a lot of effort went towards this. So we'll look at what's next. But just really hope to see everybody out there, and really want a big turnout and a successful event, and give back to the animals. It's all going back to the animals. So,
well, hopefully if there's anybody that's still on the fence right now, between tonight and then the next couple of days, they can work out arrangements to make sure, because it's, I mean, most of the guys in the South, or even the Southern Midwest area, that's only a 6-8 hour drive at tops, to get down there. So it's not like it's hard to get to. It's easy drive. It's just a little further for me. So would have had to have planned a little further, but man, I'm excited for you. I look forward to seeing what happens and seeing the photos from that, man.
Awesome. Yeah. Weather looks good too. We're keeping an eye on it. We saw rain, but now it looks like it's turning. So it's going to be 80 and hopefully sunny. So great weather as well.
Well, worst case scenario, you get to go to a bar St. Patty's Day weekend for a beard comp near the beach. What
at the beach?
At the beach. How are you gonna complain with that? So
exactly.
Go for that if nothing else, guys. All right, Jason, thanks so much for taking some time out with me, and good luck this weekend, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me, BP.
All right, talk to you soon. All right, guys. Special thanks to Jason, man. It was killing me to see a little bit of on the video feed, a little bit of pixelation and whatnot there, but it's killing me to see as he's standing there looking into his camera, the palm trees swaying in the background, the clear blue skies, and I mean, it's warming up here in northern Indiana, and we're pushing 70, but it just looked like a beach day out there, man. So yeah, if you're anywhere near Florida, Jacksonville area, you can get there within a few hours, man. Go hang out with First Coast Villains this weekend. It looks like it's gonna be just a badass time. At a beard competition at a bar, St. Patty's Day on a beach. Can you go wrong there? I don't think so. Okay, this weekend, the First Coast Villains. Stop off of that and get push away from that. All right, guys. So I wanted to take a second out real quick and just give a big shout out to our brother Radar, and for his, I would say, his tenacity, and also for his fortitude for coming out, doing these Instagram lives he does once or twice a week where he just pops on. Sometimes, as you know, he just randomly just lets himself talk about stuff, and I'm sure it's cathartic for him. He just talks. Other times, like he did this evening, and it was kind of a surprise. It wasn't really planned. I didn't get that it was. But he ended up going one-on-one with Nick, one of our brothers, over in the war-torn areas. I don't know specifically. I caught on to it a little bit late. I don't know if he was specifically still in Ukraine or if he was somewhere else. But if you get a chance, because he saves all the IG lives and that he does, and they're saved as a post, go over and check out our brother Radar, and check out his post, his recent one from today, that he was talking to Nick about it, and it's heart-wrenching a little bit, but it's great to see, and I love the fact that he has some awesome connections because he's able to travel so much, and he chooses to travel a lot, and there's a lot of sacrifice in that, but because of that, he's able to make personal connections with brothers literally around the world, and he's very fortunate that he's able to do that, because I know that that's something that a lot of guys wish they could do and they're not able to, but Radar is able to, and he does it. And as he said tonight when he was speaking with Nick, he said, these are real connections. These aren't just names. These aren't faceless names on a page. These are real people that he's met, people that he loves, and I'm grateful that he is able to share those connections with us that he's made through these Instagram lives, because it puts a face and it brings it home in a very real way. So one day I hope to be able to travel, probably not as often as he does overseas, but I like to include some of that as well, so that I can do the same, just to be able to meet some bros from other parts of the world on their turf, I think would be really exciting. So just wanted to give a shout out tonight to Radar, and let Nick know that we're thinking of him, and sending some prayers. And we've got chapters all over the world, and all of our brothers are supporting you guys and sending love. And so many guys are doing things that they can to raise money to send your way as well. I know that's not going to make things whole, but hopefully it does in some small way help out. All right, guys. So I'm going to slide in now real quick. I'm going to talk about this just for the next several weeks anyway, just in case people are on here for the first time. And I'm not going to talk about it long, because I feel like those of you who are here and have sat through this before, you don't want me to be doing this for 5 minutes. So just real quick for 30 seconds or so, I want to remind everybody about the film that I'm working on, The Amateur. I say amateur because it's my first documentary film about bearded villains. And I have a crowdfunding campaign right now going on for it. And the purpose of it obviously is to help with costs associated, equipment costs and whatnot associated with the film. And so I just wanted to share this with you guys real quick. So far, you guys have been amazing. The support from Bearded Villains has been absolutely amazing. The people that follow and love everything that we're about. So far, I had a flexible goal of about $3,000. So far, I'm almost halfway to the goal already. So there's 3 perks. If you're interested in doing so, you can donate any amount if you want to, but the perks are kind of cool because it's a film. So there's film-specific types of perks if you're not aware. And so for $25, simply you get your name in lights. You get your name in the credits as a thank you for contributing to the film. Which, hey, if you've never had your name in the credits of a film, very cool stuff, right? For $100, you get your name in the credits as you did for the first perk, but you also get a limited edition, only to be made once film poster, movie poster for the film, and For the associate producer level, we originally had 5 of these. We've got 3 of them taken. There's 2 left. Associate producer means that you get your name as a credited associate producer at the beginning of the film, at the end of the film, and you get your name on the film poster as an associate producer. So pretty cool stuff. That level is $250. So all 3 of the levels that you get if you contribute to those, all 3 of those levels also include an invitation to the Facebook group that is specifically, it's a closed private group just for contributors to the film. That's a place where, as time moves on, I'll be sharing some specific details, hints, some just one-on-one stuff, previews, stuff that you guys get to see earlier than everybody else, maybe some behind-the-scenes stuff that nobody else is going to get to see other than you guys, so kind of a first glimpse thing. So that's for all of you. Okay, this weekend, the First Coast Villains have a very cool battle. Okay, this weekend, the First Coast Villains have a very cool Battle of the Beards. There we go. Hey, sometimes technology doesn't want to work well with you. But so that's that. So if you are interested, guys, there's a link in the comment section or hit me up directly. I post links usually about weekly for that film if you're interested. All right, guys, it is time now for our calendar of events. We've got a few new things on the docket that I want to share, as we have all of our other stuff going on as well. Let's kick into it. First off, this weekend, March 19th, St. Patrick's Day Battle of the Beards, hosted by the First Coast Villains. Live music, games, and FHL beard competition. As I said, it's at a bar on the beach, guys. Come on. You can't beat that. A beard comp at a bar on the beach on St. Patty's Day weekend. You just can't beat it. March 19th. Hit up the brothers. If you're having any issues getting to it, hit up in Jacksonville. Hit up our First Coast Villain bros. Then April 1st through the 3rd, coming up in a few weeks, DSV6. DSV6 in San Antonio, Texas, hosted by the Bearded Villains of South Texas. Very good time there. DSV, it's going to be a blast. Unfortunately, it's one I'm not going to be able to make, sadly. Yes, I'm unhappy about that. But I'll be spending family time, spring break-ish, that thing. April 1st through the 3rd, DSV 6, San Antonio, Texas. Next up, we have June. We're moving into June now. We did have an event in May, and unfortunately, it had to be postponed, so I won't even go into that. June 10th through the 12th is the weekend that we actually have 4 now, I think, events. So let's roll through them real quick. First of all, we have the West Coast Meet in Seattle, Washington, hosted by the West Washington and East Washington Bearded Villain chapters. It's in Seattle, the West Coast Meet. Then if you're closer to the Midwest area, the central part of the states, June 10th through the 12th is Knox Villains. Knox Villains, always a good time as well. Hosted by the Smoky Mountain Bearded Villains in Knoxville, Tennessee. Also the same weekend, if you're over in London, is Villain Fest 5. Villain Fest 5 at Gigi's Hoxton. Hit up the Bearded Villain London chapter for further information on that. Villain Fest 5. And then it's also come to my attention that the Bearded Villains Indiana chapter, BVIN, the original Bearded Villains Indiana chapter, will be celebrating their anniversary that same weekend somewhere in Indianapolis, Indiana, with the details forthcoming. So if you can't make it down to Knoxville, or you just want to go and visit the bros in Indiana, central Indiana area, hit them up, Bearded Villains Indiana, for further information on their anniversary event. So that's 4 opportunities to do something BV related that weekend, June 10th through the 12th. Then we go into the next weekend, June 17th and 18th. This was a relatively new one that's just popped up in the last couple weeks. June 17th and 18th. Minnesota is where you're going to want to be. It's the Great Lakes Meet. Now, a lot of people didn't know that there is such a thing as a Great Lakes Meet just because you don't inhabit the Great Lakes region. However, I'm sure all of us up here in the Great Lakes area would love to see anybody else that wants to come. And that includes you guys from Canada now that the borders are open. By all means, come down. Great Lakes Meet. It's in Minnesota, so it's a relatively, I can't say that because if you live on the far sides of Canada, it's still a long drive. But Minnesota's where you want to go. The Great Lakes meet. It's in Stillwater, Minnesota. Stillwater, Minnesota. Your hosts are BV Minnesota. There's a Friday meet and greet, Saturday beard competition. So that's going to be a blast. June 17th and 18th for the Great Lakes meet. Then we slide into July. Let's slide into July. Beards for Bucko. Beards for Bucko. It's hosted by 3 of our chapters now. BV Toronto, BV OSW, and BV Lakeshore. 3 different chapters bringing you Beards for Bucko. I've heard stories about this event, and I'm finally hoping that I'll be able to get to it. I hope to be able to, in the coming weeks, to be able to confirm it. July 8th through the 10th, Beards for Bucko, BV Toronto, OSW, and Lakeshore are your hosts. Then at the end of July, July 22nd, 23rd, West Virginia is your hosts for the West Virginia Whiskerfest. It's in Parkersburg, West Virginia. Details forthcoming, but if you went to the East Coast meet last year, you know West Virginia does it up, and it's going to be a blast. West Virginia Whiskerfest, July 22nd, 23rd. Also, the weekend of September 10th. I don't have it on my list, and it's not on the screen, but I know that the weekend of September 10th, the Southern Indiana Villains are doing Battle of the Beards. It's kind of jostled around the weekends that they've done it the last few years. So it's September 10th, the weekend of September 10th this year. Battle of the Beards. It's always a huge event. People come from all over the place for it. It's very fun. So hit up the Southern Indiana Villains for further information on that. And then finally, my chapter here in Northern Indiana, Return of Ezra Crow. That's right, October 22nd. It's our beard competition and costume, easy for me to say, costume contest. Our beard competition and costume contest, Halloween themed, the week before Halloween, so you can be home with your kiddos the week after. Return of Ezra Crow, Bearded Villains, Northern Indiana, October 22nd. To be decided location in Northern Indiana. But get it on your calendars because you want to be there. It's going to be fun. And that is our calendar of events for this weekend, guys. If you have something that I missed, please let me know. Give me a shout out. I do apologize in advance. Well, wouldn't be in advance because I've already done it. So I do apologize for missing something. If you've hinted to me, told me, or something like that, make sure you let me know, and I'll get it on the calendar right away for next weekend. That is our calendar of events. Well, guys, you know what? I think that's going to do it, right? I think that's going to do it. That is episode 126. Episode 126 of The Heart of a Villain. Remember, you can still buy those shirts, patches, pins, and all the good stuff at theheartofavillain.simplecast.com. Theheartofavillain.simplecast.com. It's where you can listen to all previous 125 episodes of this here program. Guys, I want to challenge you to be the villain that the world needs you to be, because the heart of a villain never stops beating. The most important words I say every week, guys, I say it every week. Please remember them. It's okay not to be okay. If you are hurting, please find a brother to talk to. Remember, it's okay not to be okay. Well, guys, have a great night. Enjoy this. Be safe out there, St. Paddy's Day and St. Paddy's Day weekend. I will see you again next week for episode 127. Take care. Stay safe.
From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain. It's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain. It's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard.